Have you ever brushed against a tomato plant in your greenhouse only to get a face full of tiny, fluttering white specks? Yeah, it's the worst. If that's happened to you, you're already in the middle of a turf war, and honestly, you might be losing. The greenhouse whitefly is literally one of the most frustrating, destructive pests for gardeners and commercial farmers out there. So let's just dive right into this explainer and build a tactical playbook to defeat this relentless enemy, protect those crops, and take your greenhouse back. To really wrap your head around why this pest is just so devastating, consider this shocking number: 16. In that nice, warm, protected environment of your greenhouse, whiteflies don't just survive the winter, they absolutely thrive. Because of this, they can pump out up to 16 generations in a single year. No joke. That means a minor nuisance can explode into a full-blown, complete infestation in just a matter of weeks if you aren't paying close attention. Now, let's meet the scientific profile of our enemy, Trialurodes vaporarium. It's a temperate region pest that has basically found its ultimate paradise inside our protected horticultural spaces. It measures just 1 to 2 millimeters long, so it's tiny, with a yellowish body covered by 4 distinct white wax-coated wings. But look, do not let its delicate appearance fool you. This tiny little insect can literally take down an entire harvest of tomatoes, cucumbers, and ornamental plants.
Section 1. Meet the enemy, life cycle and damage.
The timeline of their 20 to 40-day life cycle shows you exactly why timing your interventions is absolutely critical. Females can lay anywhere between 85 and 130 eggs, usually arranged in a little ring shape on the underside of a leaf. Those eggs hatch into nymphs, we call them crawlers, which move around for just a few hours before locking onto a feeding spot. Then they enter a stationary pupal stage before finally emerging as winged adults. Here's the kicker: if you wait until you see those flying adults, you are already generations behind in the fight. And the damage they cause? It's multi-layered and honestly, pretty gross. They don't just take bites out of leaves. All stages, except the eggs and pupae, insert their mouthparts directly into the plant's veins, just draining the phloem sap. Worse than that, they excrete this sticky, sugary substance called honeydew. This stuff coats the lower leaves and provides a perfect breeding ground for black sooty mold. That mold blocks sunlight and literally suffocates the plant's ability to photosynthesize. Add in their ability to transmit dangerous plant viruses, and you've got a recipe for complete crop devastation. Section 2. Surveillance, identification, and early detection.
So, the crucial point here is early detection. It's your absolute best defense. You have to set up a surveillance perimeter using 3 basic tactical steps, especially if you're a beginner. Step 1. Just gently shake the tops of your plants. If adults are present, they'll flutter up for a second before settling back down. Step 2. Manually turn over the youngest leaves, because that is exactly where the females prefer to lay their eggs. And Step 3. Set up your early warning radar by deploying yellow sticky traps right at plant height. Whiteflies go crazy for the color yellow, and these traps will catch the scouts before you even realize you've got an issue. Oh, and definitely keep a close eye on the corners of your greenhouse where air circulation kind of stinks, because that's where they love to hang out.
But hang on a second, are you absolutely sure it's the greenhouse whitefly? To fight back effectively, you have to nail the identification. The greenhouse whitefly is super often confused with the tobacco whitefly, so look closely at how they rest. The greenhouse whitefly holds its wings fairly flat, forming a little triangle shape over its body. The tobacco whitefly, it's slightly smaller and holds its wings much more vertically, kind of parallel to its body. Knowing exactly which pest you're dealing with dictates the specific biological controls you're going to want to deploy. Section 3. The arsenal: natural versus chemical solutions. Okay, let's dive into the weapons at our disposal. There is a really stark contrast between your 2 main approaches here. Chemical insecticides offer this immediate, satisfying knockdown, sure, but they come with massive risks. Specifically, they cause the whitefly population to build chemical resistance super fast, and they nuke your beneficial insects. Natural defenses, on the other hand, might have a slightly slower start, but they're sustainable, highly targeted, and totally environmentally safe. So let's look at your biological arsenal. For proactive control, introducing a tiny parasitic wasp called Incarcia formosa is just a masterstroke. They actually lay their eggs directly inside the whitefly scales. Then you have green lacewing larvae, which are just voracious predators that will hunt down eggs and nymphs all day. If you do need to spray something, potassium soaps and neem oil act as contact killers and growth inhibitors, basically dissolving the pest's soft exterior without leaving toxic residues behind. And finally, we have pathogenic fungi, like Bavaria bassiana, which naturally infect and destroy the whiteflies from the inside out. It's wild. Now, if you absolutely must use chemical insecticides for a severe, out-of-control outbreak, please use them sparingly and strategically. Pyrethrins can give you a rapid knockdown, and authorized neonicotinoids can be applied through drip irrigation. But listen, you have to rotate the chemical classes you use. Whiteflies reproduce so ridiculously fast that they are notorious for developing chemical resistance in just a few generations. If that happens, your expensive sprays become completely useless.
Section 4. Field Report Real-World Efficacy Case Studies.
Let's look at some hard data. Does this biological stuff actually work as well as the heavy chemicals? Well, there is elite academic credibility behind using pathogenic control agents. The research we're going to dive into was conducted by the Maritza Vegetable Crops Research Institute, and it focuses on the effectiveness of biological agents in greenhouse vegetable crops like tomatoes and cucumbers. The numbers are just fantastic. They prove that the biological fungus product, which uses that Beauveria bassiana strain we talked about, is remarkably powerful. Check this out. On day 1 after application, its efficacy against adult whiteflies on tomatoes was around 53%. By day 3, it climbed to over 68%. And by day 7, it hit over 76% efficacy. That completely rivals conventional chemical pesticides, but you don't get any of the toxic runoff or resistance building. Win-win. That here is the crucial catch. You have to understand how this biological tool works across the pest's entire life cycle. While the fungus completely decimates the adult population, researchers noted it only had about a 52% efficacy against the larvae. This means a single spray won't win the war. You have to reapply the treatment sequentially, usually about 7 days apart, to catch those surviving larvae as they develop into vulnerable adults.
Section 5. Building the Defense, Prevention and Troubleshooting.
Defeating the whitefly once isn't enough. They're always going to try to come back, so you need a permanent maintenance strategy. Remember, a clean environment is a hostile environment for whiteflies. Your very first line of defense is actually outside the greenhouse. Destroy any surrounding weeds that harbor these pests, because they act like a bridge right indoors. Between growing seasons, you must thoroughly sanitize your greenhouse walls, floors, and soil. If you live in a colder climate, open those doors and utilize winter freezing to kill off overwintering populations. And during the season, keep up optimal ventilation to manage humidity. Stagnant, humid air is exactly what these little guys prefer. Let's talk troubleshooting, because mistakes happen. A massive beginner mistake is blindly spraying chemicals from the top down. Remember, whiteflies live on the undersides of the leaves. If you aren't spraying upwards, you are missing the target entirely. Another great fix for ongoing issues is to manually wipe away that sticky honeydew with a diluted alcohol or soap solution. This literally saves your plant's ability to photosynthesize. And hey, if a leaf is just totally heavily infested with eggs and scales, don't even try to save it. Carefully remove it, seal it in a bag, and destroy it outside the greenhouse.
Section 6. Debrief, Conclusion and Expert Tips.
Okay, let's pull all our tactical intelligence together for a final debrief so you can start protecting your crops today. The ultimate takeaway from this explainer is that integrating biological controls, like parasitic wasps and pathogenic fungi, isn't just some feel-good organic alternative. As the Maritza Research Institute notes, it is scientifically proven to be highly effective. It breaks the cycle of chemical resistance, it ensures your harvest is completely pesticide-free, and it keeps your entire greenhouse ecosystem balanced and healthy. Just a quick disclaimer, local regulations regarding authorized treatments and specific plant sensitivities can vary widely depending on where you live. Always test any spray, yes, even organic soaps, on a small leaf area first to make sure it doesn't burn the plant. And definitely consult a local horticulturist if you are ever in doubt about what's safe for your specific crop. All right, it is time to put this playbook into action. I want to hear from you down in the comments. Which of these tactical defenses are you going to deploy first to keep the greenhouse whitefly out of your crops? Are you going to release those parasitic wasps, or maybe try the Beauveria bassiana fungus? Let me know. And if you found this explainer helpful in your fight for a better harvest, please make sure to subscribe, drop a like, and share this explainer with your fellow growers. Until next time, stay vigilant and keep growing.